Homestead, how the heck are you? Okay, this one's going to be a chat about a lot of different little topics. Trying to get some questions answered, and the few of the subscribers have asked, and also a little random stuff. I'm trying to get this new system working. Yeah, still fighting with that doggone new camera I bought. Anyway, yeah, yeah. So let's get on with this. See you in just a minute. Alrighty. I'm going to start off with the first question. I had a fellow who had contacted me and asked about tractors for a small homestead. Now, I didn't get a lot of details from his comment, uh, which makes it hard to say, oh, use this one. So I'm going to give kind of a widespread here of general usage and pretty much what you need for tractors. If you're mainly doing a couple acres and you're planning just doing like a large, very large garden or several, uh, they make what they call a walk behind tractor. It's got 3-point implements. It's got a lot you can get for it. They're fairly inexpensive. You can even pick them up used and save a lot. Uh, Two things. If you're have any type of disability to where you have trouble walking and things of this nature, probably not the piece of equipment for you. And if you're getting up there in the years, like it might not be the piece of equipment for you. But if you're a young gentleman, in your 30s, 40s, maybe early 50s, it is a lot like a big walk behind tiller. The only difference is it actually comes with a 3-point hitch that you can attach things like tillers and cultivators and assorted attachments, plows, things of this nature, and get out there and take care of most large gardens very economically. And the nicest part of it is you're not compacting your soil, okay, because it's very lightweight. Tractors compact soil. Even small tractors compact soil. Okay, this little thing, not much. It's not much bigger than what a tiller is. Okay, so you're not going to get a lot of soil compaction, which is real good in the garden. So that'd be one way to go. Low cost. There are lots of attachments available for them, and yeah, they're a little extra work to run. And it's not a tractor. You're not going to be riding on it. But yeah, it does a good job, and good way to start out, especially if you got small acreage. Uh, Next thing I would say is if you're running a small goat cattle operation, something of this nature, where you're doing a little bush hogging and maybe even cutting a little hay, primarily bales, okay, you can get by with a smaller 40 horse tractor. I always recommend for a good general purpose one, make sure it's got a front loader on it. You can pick those up used a lot of times for, $6,000, $7,000, somewhere along in there, that are good tractors. Um, and even pick up a lot of times they're selling them with bush hogs and whatever. They will deal with a small baler for making square bales. They are not going to deal with a huge piece of equipment on the back of them. They're a little 40 horse. They're very economical to operate. They're inexpensive to buy. They fit into some very tight places, okay? And they got a lot of perks to them. Now, I want to qualify this just a touch. Well, if you're using a small square baler, it'll work great. If you're talking about running round bales for cattle, this tractor's just not going. That size tractor's just not going to work for you. And give yourself a little more pulling power with a 40 horse tractor. You definitely want one with 4-wheel drive. Okay, it really increases the pulling power of that tractor to a much larger capacity tractor. I pretty much recommend 4-wheel drive tractors in straight across the board. Okay, straight across the board. So, do that. Most small homesteads, that's going to be plenty tractor for you. And of course, it's got three-point with PTO and all that sort of stuff. Make sure it has rear hydraulics. On a lot of these smaller tractors, I have seen where they've taken, and when they put the front loader on, they have stole the rear hydraulics to do it. It is fixable. Okay. Most manufacturers make the additional setups to where you can get those rear hydraulics back operational. You do need rear hydraulics. Okay. It's just a must. Now, that would do for most, 15, 20 acre homesteads. You can bush hog, you can mow, you can do a lot with it. Okay. And like I said, without going up to your eyeballs in debt to have a tractor. You can also get into the larger tractors. If you're planning on running a herd of cattle, you're going to need a larger tractor. Okay. Because now we're talking about, you're not looking anymore at small square baler operation. You're going to need a good cutter, a good disc cutter, and you're also going to need to be pulling a baler. They take some horsepower, folks. Probably, I would say nothing less than 70, 75 horse minimum on something like that. If you're planning on expanding your operation, you might want to start out looking at something even a little larger. Okay, but your hay equipment's going to cost you a lot of money. Now, here's the perk to it. Just about in any rural area where they grow their own hay, you can always pick up money. That's another source of income for your farm, cutting people's hay. Down here, on average, a guy come out and cut, rake, and bale hay. He's, and they're talking about there'll be the 5-foot roll bales. They usually charge anywhere from $18 to $20, somewhere around that ballpark, which is mad money. Okay, if you got a decent sized piece of equipment. You can get the job done with something smaller, like when you get down into the 65 and 70s, you can get by with it. It's going to slow you down a lot. All right. And time's money. All right. For the extra cost. Now, these tractors, there's where the costs get up a little bit. A good one with a front loader, 4-wheel drive, so forth. You can pick up a good used one in a $20,000 bracket. Okay. Now, it's not going to probably be pretty new and shiny looking, all right, but a good solid piece of equipment that may have been recently rebuilt for that kind of money. And you're going to want to do that because let me tell you something. Your cutter, your disc cutter, even your rake, but especially your baler, is not cheap, all right? They're not cheap. Go price out a new one and it'll scare the bejeebies out of you, okay? They're nice. Okay, they're really nice. But the price is pretty horrifying. You're going to be in debt for the next 40 years. Don't get into that. Buy used. If you're good mechanically, okay, balers are not rocket ships. All right. If a guy's really mechanically inclined, you can fix about anything on there. And what you find commonly, and this is a good maintenance tip for you, is you'll find people who haven't cleaned those balers out on a regular basis when they're out cutting and baling. You got a little engine in there. It has a tendency to light dry hay on fire. So you frequently find these things where they're just burned up. As long as you got the structure there and most parts, belts, all that, chains, everything else can be replaced and can be replaced fairly reasonably. Just remember price out your parts first. Know what it's going to cost you to put that baler together. Put in for your time. And when you're talking to the guy about what you're going to give him, you're not going to give him much. Because now he's probably already went out and bought another baler, and this thing's just decorating the field somewhere. Okay? So you should be able to get a deal on it. And that is how most guys on a budget get their first hay equipment. Okay? So keep that in mind. It's a good way to go. To pick a tractor, to pick a piece of equipment that you need, you're going to have to look at several things. What am I wanting to do with it? Okay. What might I want to do with it? That sometimes comes into play too. If I want to expand out, blah, 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 blah. Creature comforts. You know, there's something to having a cab with air conditioning and something you can run out in the wintertime and the snow and the rain and all that without freezing your bejeebies off. Okay? So those things are nice and are available out there in used equipment. You probably pay a little more for it. Okay? If you're a tough, rugged homesteader, you don't need no cotton picking cab. Get a little sunshade and you're good. Okay? So know what you want to do. Talk to some of the local farmers of this is what I'm trying to do with this thing. What kind of equipment do you really think would be a good way for me to go? And these guys will give you their ideas on the specifics because it all changes. The amount of horsepower, if you're on a lot of hilly surfaces and so forth, you know, the horsepower of your tractor's going to change because you're not pulling this on a flat surface anymore. You're pulling it up and down hills. All right, which sometimes takes a little extra oomph. One of the things, if you're doing organic and a lot of gardening and so forth, even if you need a tractor, smaller is better. They're lighter. They're more compact. They don't. And one of the things that I really enjoyed about it is a small tractor. Okay, you can get those things out into a field where if you try to take a big tractor out there, you ain't going to do nothing but rut everything up. I mean, it's going to be a mess. And that little light tractor buzz right out there and take care of it. Okay. If you're hauling hay out to animals, things of that nature, they're really great. Okay, so bigger is not always better. You want to get the tractor that you need. So that would be my advice on your tractor. Okay, if that didn't answer your question, I'd need a little more information, but about what you're exactly wanting to do with it. But you'll find I don't recommend buying new tractors. Okay, not unless you're up there in the years, you're very stable, and you can afford that payment. Okay, because the payments can really jump up and bite you, especially farming. Okay, a couple of bad years, you're done. Sometimes one bad year, you're done. And it's going to be really hard for you to restart again with having no credit, because that gets wiped out when they start coming for that equipment. All right. Kind of keep that in mind. Pay as you go, you keep where you're not making interest payments. You're going to put more of that money in your pocket. And eventually, yeah, maybe you'll have that big green John Deere that's everybody dreams about, you know. But let it be because you can afford to walk in and plop down the cash for it. Okay? Too many folks wrap up their farms in these loans and end up really had. Okay, so I'm going to use the last few minutes to tell you a little bit about what's been going on. As y'all know, I took another job. It's nights. You know, I work nights. I get home here around midnight, sometimes about 1 o'clock because I work a little late. I do overtime. And I still work down at the feed store. So, but I've been cutting the hours back there. And I mean, honest with you, I don't know how many more weeks and months I'm going to do that because realistically, I take 1 day off now. I was working 7 days, and I got to have at least 1 day because I'll cook up meals to eat on through the week and try to get laundry caught up and clean the house, things of that nature. And then I'm finding I'm working harder on Saturdays trying to get all this done because of work. So it's looking like, yeah, I need to really spread this out a little bit. So I think eventually I'm going to be going back to just one job, which is great. And a new job I love. I'm very very active, very busy, slinging steel all night long, and time just flies by. And it's a lot of fun. It's an enjoyable job. So you know, uh, as long as that holds together, and it looks like it does, we've got a lot of big contracts and things of this nature, and they've been at it for a lot of years. So it looks like, especially in my department, we're good. Nobody even knows in the factory what we do. I teased with the supervisor. He said, "What do you guys do down here?" I said, "We take lots of breaks and long naps." Which he knows isn't true because all of our stuff's always back ready for shipment. And but he kind of laughed. He said, "That's what I thought. I'm good." I was like, "Move along, Junior." So it's a good, fun place to work. A lot of great people down there. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. But it is a lot of hard work. It really is. You move all night long. I mean, you move all night long, and now I can tell I've been at it long enough to where, because first few weeks, oh man, you'd come home and you talk about aching muscles and sore back, and slinging around a lot of steel and a lot of weight. It was like, whoa, But I'm finding out that suddenly it's like, oh, this isn't too bad. And my morning workouts, when I get up and do workouts now in the morning, are getting better and better and better, because it's like, yeah, all right, getting a little strength back. That's good. So who knows? I may get all ripped back up again. So that's what I've been doing. This thing's starting to get a little long. I wanted to include a little more information in there. I did a video up, and I've got out sitting on YouTube on Antifa, that I did some research on those guys. And I'm really torn about even releasing it, because it's like, these guys are bad, and bad. Um, they are Marxist communists, and they're darn proud of it. And so they're chasing Nazis is not totally their agenda. All right? And I went into it a little bit on that video, and I'm tired of looking at the world. Okay, if it's not immediately affecting homesteading, I'm getting to the point where it's like, really don't care as long as it doesn't come down here. But I may or may not. You might put some comments in there if you want to see the thing. Maybe throw a couple of votes for yeah. Go ahead and release it. Let's see what the heck's going on. And it's already loaded and ready to go. It's up on YouTube. It's just making it from private to public. But I just kept looking at it and thinking, yeah, all the facts are there about them, but But on that topic, I did recently get contacted. I'm involved with some militia information that comes in. How I got tangled up in that, heaven only knows. But every now and again, I get emails from them, and they've actually sent out some nasty grams to these fellows, telling them they need to stop now. And they've actually gotten involved in their groups. So they're putting out a lot of information about what these kids are talking about and planning. Kind of scary. That's pretty much it. Watched the documentary the other night on mental health of our college students. And, when you hear heads of psychiatric associations say, we may need to open up more mental clinics because these kids are not going to be able to face reality. They deemed a lot of them already have serious mental illnesses. Things like paranoia, schizophrenia. To these kids, it's just not a saying, folks. Words they see as violence. It hurts them. Heaven help them when they face the real world. Okay. Yeah. Went down that rabbit hole a little bit. Kind of went, got more of a problem here with this younger generation we think. The good news is the kids that are coming up after, but it's probably because of you homesteaders out there. Seem to be more conservative and have a little better work ethics and a little leveler head. So the future doesn't look so bleak. We've got a group coming in behind them that's like, grow up. Okay, so somebody's been doing something right out there with their children. God bless you. Okay. Anyway, this has gotten real long. This is Rich Tennessee Homestead. I love you guys. Appreciate you. Gonna start concentrating more on the channel. I'll look at my lighting and things of this nature. And if I ever get the camera to work right, I'll be really thrilled because it shoots great videos. Really beautiful videos. But yeah, still battling with it. I'm about to take it into a camera shop and slam it down on our counter and say fixes. But yeah, so I can get to using it. So you folks have a great week. I mean, whatever your goals are for the week, knock them out of the park. Okay, go above and beyond. And love you guys, appreciate you. Take care.